it's time for Trending now, and Olamide is standing by to let us know everything that happens in the world. Olamide, good morning.
Good morning again, team.
Good morning again.
I want to ask how you're doing, but I already know you're waiting to see what's trending now. Shall we dive into it?
Take it away.
Good morning, Nigeria. As always, TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I do our best on a daily basis to bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with some good old politics, where there's been a fresh political flare-up in the nation's capital as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, took a swipe at former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi over his recent comments on the state of public schools in Abuja. Speaking at the commissioning of 2 newly constructed roads in Mabushi, Wike accused Obi of playing politics with social issues ahead of the 2027 elections, even going as far as calling him a social media presidential candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, Nyesom Wike.
Peter Obi, you were governor for 8 years in Anambra State. If you have finished all the jobs in 8 years, nobody will be talking about developing Anambra by now. 8 years. Instead of developing Anambra, you took the money and put in the bank you have interest, Fidelity Bank. You cannot be president of Nigeria only when you go to one IDP. Oh, I want to go for a birthday party. I want to do my birthday party in IDP camp.
Now, Wike's comments come after Obi's visit to a public primary school in Abuja, where he described the state of learning facilities as a national disgrace. But in a blast from the past, an old video has now resurfaced online, one that appears to show Wike previously in solidarity with Peter Obi during his time as the governor of Anambra State. Very interesting. Social media people don't play. Now, Wike's remarks have since, of course, stirred a lot of reactions across social media, as both of these men are strong voices in the build-up to another heated political season. Let's take a look at what you have to say about this on social media. Amy Vanguard says, with the enormous amount under your disposal in Abuja, Peter Obi in similar circumstances would have made Anambra another Dubai without blinking an eye. Alakatunde David says, coming from someone who didn't build a single school as governor, this sudden concern for education feels like a publicity stunt. Are you a Labour Party chieftain or an ADC chieftain now? Nigerians deserve clarity. And finally, Nwoma says, that's not true. As governor, Peter Obi transformed Anambra's education sector, returning schools to missions and raising Wike rankings from 26th to 1st. He also cleared pension arrears, built roads across all LGAs, and left over 75 billion naira in savings and not debt. Team, I'm coming to you now. I have to say, on a lighter note, Wike is an interviewer's dream. He's a press's dream because he doesn't hold back on any of his comments. Although there's been a lot of public sentiment, not mine, that says that, why is he so focused on Peter Obi? Doesn't that mean that Peter Obi is, such strong opposition that he's constantly being barraged by Wike?
See, if I'm running an election, any other person that's running an election is a strong opposition, even if they are 500, all 500 of them are strong opposition. Wike was just Wike there, you understand? He will say things the way he feels and the way he sees them. And do remember that politics has to do with what is happening now, the situation, what is prevalent now, and so on. So it's a normal thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see more as time goes on.
We're definitely going to see more of this, but I love the way we played the 2 videos to show a balance. But at the end of the day, Peter Obi is opposition and he will always talk. We expect him to talk. That's the work of opposition, to criticize. But even with all they're having, the back and forth, all I will say is that, we've seen that Nyesom Wike has done well with, roads in Abuja, but I think it's high time we also look into education because there's no smoke without fire. We should not even give opposition something for them to say that this thing is lacking. So in as much as they're having their rift, I want us to think about the children and just make learning comfortable and good for the children, because every Nigerian child deserves quality education.
And I think as a people, we also need to look beyond, 2 personalities, throwing banters at themselves. We should look at the points they're also making. He was asking, making a very cogent point that if you could not also resolve the problems within your party, how do you now solve the problem of the Nigerian nation? Because we know what Labour Party is going through, and then you're saying that, yeah, Nigeria is divided, I will do this, I will do that, but you're not resolving the one that is right, on your fingertip. And then if you had made Anambra that's, Dubai of some sort, then people will not be talking about development. That's not true. That's a fallacy, because there's no amount of beautification, no amount of governance you've actually rendered to a particular state or a country. Development is, incremental, is continuous. So all of that. But one thing is, do not die in their battle. These guys are friends up there. So let's just look at the issues and separate the persons or the personalities, from the issues. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And Tim, I find it very interesting that Wike is mocking Peter Obi for being a social media president, because if leaders have anything to go by in this day and age, it's social media. The sentiment of the people lives there. Their plight lives there. It's a place that they feel safe virtually to come and share everything that they feel, as a populace. So social media is not to be played with or joked with. Yeah. Thank you so much for your input. Moving on to a disturbing development in Katsina State, where a Nigeria Customs Service officer identified as an assistant superintendent of customs has been confirmed dead after reportedly lodging at a hotel in the state's capital. This incident happened on Wednesday at Mirjani Hotel, where this officer was said to have allegedly checked in with 3 women, and hotel staff reportedly discovered him unresponsive the next morning and raised the alarm. Sources say that sachets of suspected substances were found in the room with the women present. They've all been identified and in custody and are now assisting with investigations. The Katsina Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has now also confirmed this officer's death, but noted that it was first informed by the deceased family. His body has since been laid to rest in accordance with Islamic rites, while an autopsy is expected to determine the exact cause of death. May his soul rest in perfect peace. I think whenever stories like this go viral, it's because there were sketchy circumstances surrounding it. Let's take a look at social media. Light Surge says, it's messy and tragic. A night that started with company ended in headlines. The details are murky, but the optics loud. 3 women, 1 hotel room, and a fatal outcome. It's the kind of story that fuels speculation. But behind the drama is a man who has lost his life. Let's not forget the human cost while chasing the scandal. Justice needs clarity, not gossip. I hope that the truth comes out clean. Mazi Uche says, when a man chases pleasure without caution, he often forgets that not every smile means safety. The river that looks calm on the surface may hide deep currents below. It is wise to walk with sense, for not every invitation leads to joy, and not every company brings peace. Now, team, we're going to talk about this very, very quickly because of a lack of time and the sensitivity of this issue. I think that a lot of times we like to focus, like that user rightly said, on scandal and the story instead, and the spectacle instead of what is really going on. A man has lost his life, and the story was trending because one of the women allegedly, reportedly, fled the scene, which is now raising suspicions about his death.
Well, 2 things I want to touch on. Let's wait for the autopsy to come out. Let's see if it is death out of exhaustion or if it is murder. 1 man, 3 women in a hotel room. So many pictures will play in anybody's brain. But at the end of the day, may his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. That's just where I'll leave it.
And I think investigation is very, very key to this. Tom, I don't know what you mean by maybe done out of, as a result of exhaustion, or which other word did you use?
You don't want me to expatiate.
A man
don't expatiate, either of you.
Yeah.
But it's a very sad story,
Very sad.
investigation is very key. And Olamide, what you read in that tweet, justice needs clarity, not gossip, and that's what we should, strive for.
Very apt. Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on into the world of social media. A viral moment on social media today where popular actress turned TikTok creator Sarah Martins is making headlines after an alleged altercation with officials of the Kick Against Indiscipline, KAI, the Lagos Environmental Enforcement Agency. The actress, who's gained massive attention for her roadside cooking videos, she often feeds passerbys and the less privileged, claimed yesterday that she was harassed and almost arrested as her cooking equipment was seized and she was asked to stop her whole operation. Reports say that she sustained minor injuries after being splashed with hot oil during the incident. While many Nigerians have praised her charitable acts, others argue that she should still adhere to environmental laws and safety standards of Lagos State, especially because she's cooking in public spaces, which counts as, Lagos land. Let's take a look at social media. Opupa Brown says, there's too much laxity in Nigeria. People act with little regard for law and order. In the countries that we look up to, this behavior would attract serious sanctions because the systems are strict and enforcement is real. We need stronger institutions and consistent consequences. Local boy said, no, this is not right. She's helping the poor and hungry. KAI is wrong on this. The woman even cleans anywhere she uses after she's done. Could you be part of the problem, local boy? I don't know. The man says, which one be emotion for here now? No, no be everything be harassment. They are actually doing their job, which is to make the streets clean and free. Next time, madam, go and rent a place for whatever you want to do, not in the public space. If 20 people decide to cook on the streets, where people go past? Tim, I'm coming to you now. Now she has almost, over 1 million followers on TikTok. She's gained a lot of virality for staying on the streets of Lagos, cooking on the streets of Lagos in real time, serving out food to passers-by, mostly underprivileged people. People come from far and wide to eat her food, to feature on her TikTok. But they're now saying that this is not lawful, clear it up. And as a result, they seized her equipment and apparently she got injured in the process. But I believe that law is law. This goes against environmental laws, and it doesn't matter who is breaking the law. Sentiment should not matter here, the rule of law.
But yeah, for anything you want to do, first of all, check the laws and try as much as possible to operate within the law of the state or the nation, or just be within the law. Yeah. What she's doing, even though she's doing it for content, is quite commendable. Yes, she sweeps, like what we're seeing right now after she's finished her stuff. She sweeps the place and so on. But you're supposed to get a permit. Yeah. Why don't you, like somebody suggested, rent a place? Let everybody know that that's what you're doing in that place, so you don't get harassed like this, because the KAI officials just did their job.
But talking about KAI doing their job, I remember the last time when we were speaking about it, how we see a lot of deaths in Lagos, and I don't hear KAI saying anything. I've not heard them saying anything about that. We talked about it on the show. I'm not saying laws are not laws, but I'm taking a different swipe at this particular story. A lot of people are hungry in Lagos, and if we see somebody cooking, even if you want to tell her to leave the place or stop, that is not the best way to go about it. Yes, we can say she's doing it for content, but at the end of the day, people are eating. Olamide, I follow her on TikTok. You see the amount of people she's feeding. Things should just be done in the right way. It's so sad that now we are standing, KAI is working, they're doing the things. But when other things that they were not doing, did we say anything? I don't think this was handled, the very best for me.
Yeah, probably because most of what KAI does don't make it up to the social media, because they were doing the right thing and they didn't have any need. But I think we should separate what's it called? Just guilt-tripping people because they are doing the right thing. Probably because KAI belongs to the government. If you want to do the right thing as one who wants to feed the nation, it's okay. Good initiative. You can't come into the studio where we are at now and say people in TVC are hungry, you want to feed them, and then you start cooking on this set. It's the wrong thing. You're trying to do the right thing in the wrong context. So if you're told to excuse yourself from that place, look for, if you want to do it on the road, you can simply get the roadside, erect a tent or just sit somewhere, but make sure you're not damaging the road. If you're cooking on the road, it's a problem. So if they ask you to leave, you have to leave honorably. And if the car is saying, leave there, you to learn how to relate with people, like humans, not just throwing things up and down, and you're also causing, deaths.
I wish we had time to really talk about this, but we don't have enough time. I'm saying that the way they handled it is wrong. When she cooks, she cleans. We see her cleaning after she cooks. So she doesn't just cook and leave the street dirty. Yes, we understand laws are laws, but it could be handled differently.
Yeah, if laws are laws,
but I want to pose the question, what would happen if every time a law was broken, we looked at sentiment and the fact that somebody is doing something to absolve themselves slightly? I believe here that the law is the law, but I hear what the both of you are saying.
Yes,
thank you so much for your input.
Go on.
Moving on, still in the world of social media, a young Nigerian, Ayokanmi David, is going viral for turning the everyday hustle and bustle of Lagos into a video game. You heard me, a video game. Now, his new creation puts players right in the middle of the city's chaotic transport scene, and it's complete with the shouting, the haggling, and the quick moves of a typical Nigerian Danfo bus conductor. This game does capture the true spirits of Lagos streets, and it's getting plenty of praise online because of its creativity and realism. This is amazing. Have a look.
Getting traffic, dropping passengers, and earning coins as you do this. For some reasons, you choose to disobey traffic law and get in trouble with LASMA. You try negotiating with them, but all they want to do is store your Danfo. So you run, but they go after you. If you are lucky enough, you escape them and you don't have to use your hard-earned money to bail your Danfo. At the end of the day, you use your money to buy gala because you need energy for the next day.
Now, that was great. So real. Now, of course, some Lagosians see the Danfo culture as chaotic and outdated, but this young man is flipping the narrative and he's showing that there is art, there is innovation, and there's opportunity in what makes Lagos tick. Good on you, mate. Let's take a look at social media. Oluwamayowa says, this your conductor is well dressed and he looks very neat. Also, where is his Chelsea jean sachet? And any RTW members across different locations collecting daily return and tickets. Nice work, Ayo the Engine. That is his handle. Please give him a follow. This man deserves this shout out. Let's take another tweet. Ayo Akinola says, why the boss no get pictures of musicians like Pasuma, Oshupa, Wizkid, Portable, Naira Marley now? Everybody was chiming in on this team. I thought it was so beautiful. You know how many, it takes a certain type of mind to look at chaos and ugliness and noise and turn it into something beautiful, something special, something that serves a purpose. I have to shout you out right now, Ayokanmi David. That's if you watch TVC, you're doing a wonderful job. And I really hope that the right investors come for this game.
Is finding a need in a community, taking care of that need and getting paid by doing that. This is beautiful. Ayo David, congratulations. This is fantastic. I'm sure you will update. You keep updating the game so that it will have stickers of Pasuma and so on.
You know, Olamide, I'm so carried away watching the video that I can just go on and on. It's beautiful to see how young people are innovative. I love it. Like, a big congratulations to him. And I'm just hoping that he gets the right investors and we get to see more of this game. At
least I'm happy for once you're not playing a game and then you feel like you're in Dubai, you're playing a game, you feel like you're in London. Yeah. But if you're playing a game, you're still staying in Nigeria. Imagine what it's going to say about the country. But at the same on the other side, he is actually preaching being kind, being good, and being orderly. Being respectful on the street of Lagos, because if you do anything wrong, the last mile is there, the officials there, the law is there to take care of you. So that's a good one at the end of the day.
Absolutely. A wise man once said, you don't bash my car,